Manipur. We are fighting against the repeal of AFSPA. Even in Arunachal, 3 districts which has AFSPA, the law is prevalent there. So, giving you that example, you can easily see we are fighting for the pan-Northeast people, their aspirations. We are fighting for them. Then this is our agenda. This is how we want to take things forward. Nagaland fighting alone, sometimes it doesn't work. You need the strength of other states also to achieve certain goals. And that is our agenda. That is the biggest agenda of National People's Party. Your other questions were related to money culture. 2 of the states in the Northeast spends the biggest money in elections. Whichever is number 1 or number 2, but these 2 states are Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. It is known to all the political parties, it is known to all leaders what kind of money culture prevails during the election process. Now, where does that money come from? This is not any rocket science. The money comes from the coffers of the government, whether it is here, whether it is in Arunachal, whether it's anywhere. Now, until and unless you have a transparent government, until and unless people are aware of what works is going on, what is not going on, that money will be channeled to the funds and go to the people, go to the political parties, or go to the political leaders. And so, if you want to stop money culture, you have to bring in transparency. The government funds that are going on into the development of the social sectors, whether you say whether it is in building tangible capital expenditure that you do, building roads, bridges, communication lines, यातायात जो बनाता है, that money and those channeling of funds has to be very transparent. Then only you can lower the exercise of money during election process. And so our aim is to provide that. If we happen to make a government in Manipur, our aim is to provide that. Our aim is to provide transparency. Our aim is to provide also, if we have some stake in the next government in Nagaland, our aim is to push forward for transparency. Transparency in all works related, government schemes related works. Was there another question to it? The first was the regarding money culture and the main agenda, and
how different is the NPP from the other parties?
Well, how different it is, I think the people must realize. In the history of Indian political history, only one party from the Northeast has become a national party, has been conferred a national party. And that is the National People's Party. None of it has happened in the past. And this is the only party that has been able to achieve this feat. And so, the people of Northeast has shown positive vibes, has shown are optimistic in the party's value system, and we want to carry those forward. And this is what differentiates us from the other parties, from the other national parties. We relate to subnationalism. Assertions of your regional identity, assertion of your caste, assertion of your tribal identity, assertion of your land, assertion of your territory. So we understand the values of what the tribal people of Northeast values. And so we are very different from the other National People's Party. The other National People's Party, when they frame a policy, they have to frame it for the overall country. They have to frame it for their main support base. Our main support base is based in the Northeast. So our value system, our policies, हमारा जितना भी नीति होगा, it will be all for the benefits of the people of the Northeast region, of the people of the states of Nagaland. So that is why we are very different from the other national parties.
You were earlier speaking about strengthening the organizational structure. Yeah. So right now, the reason of that being, was there any cracks in the Nagaland unit of the organization, the party? Slight cracks maybe here and there, some units?
Well, I see
some division happening.
Well, any party, it's like a family. You have different points of views in every party. we view that in a democratic party we should have different points of view, different verticals, different points of view. So that keeps on happening in all our states. That is there in Arunachal also, in the NPP, even in Meghalaya where we are the ruling government. People have their own views. Party members have their own views. That keeps on happening, and that is how you churn and turn, democratic process in a political party. So this happens, but nothing really out of the ordinary in Nagaland. We have really come here to take jaiza of the organizational structure, how we need to better the organizational structure, and if there is some grievances, also hear those grievances and make a comprehensive strategy to go ahead.
Coming to Manipur elections,
Yeah.
the NPP was in collision, of course, in the last with the BJP.
Mhm.
But now, what is the NPP's plan if it is a hung elections like earlier?
Yeah.
So, is there any plan to again join forces with BJP or any other whoever comes into?
The same can also be applied to Nagaland state.
Yeah.
Also as well.
Well, let me take instance of example of Manipur, right? Whatever the verdict that the people of Manipur gives, we need to respect the mandate given by the people of Manipur in whatever structure they give, whether it's a hung parliament or hung assembly, or whether it's a majority government. Whatever the verdict, we have to respect that, and based on that respect, we have to make our decisions for the further course of the party, and also how to become a stakeholder in the next governance. So, having said that, we are open to working with all like-minded parties. You know our present structure. We are supporting the NDA government in the national government headed by the Honorable Prime Minister. The current assembly, we supported the Biren Singh government, and so they were able to form a government there. And respecting the mandate of whatever the electorate feel in Manipur, tomorrow when the results comes out, next month when the results comes out, taking respect to that, we will speak with all like-minded parties, depending on the numbers, and see how we can give a formidable, stable government to the people of Manipur. So that will be our.
Was there any discussion with the BJP, your ally BJP in Manipur, for pre-poll alliance?
No, there was no talks of any pre-poll alliance.
Why is that when you?
Because you have to understand, we are all fighting in the same sphere. We are all fighting for in the same pie. Now, we feel we are strong in the valley also, parts of the hills also. We feel we are very strong. So there is no point in taking these discussions ahead, because we know we are going to put up candidates where our alliance partner is also going to feel their candidate, because they feel that is their gut hai, varchasva jo hota, dominance, they feel it is there. We feel this is where we will dominate. So we are fighting in the same sphere, in the same segments, in the same constituencies. So so there was no case of even having a talk for pre-poll alliances, and so we went up ahead. Our national president went there and declared that no pre-poll alliance. We are not in any discussions. We are going to fight with our own identity. We are going to fight the elections, and then when the results comes out, then we'll make our decisions based on it.
I want to add something over here. Firstly, thank you, the press fraternity, for coming today. And I'm very grateful that Sir Mutchu Mithi also has come all the way to visit us prior to the Manipur, the 27th, the election. And I'm very grateful to Conrad sir and James also for sending sir to strengthen the party of NPP in Nagaland. And sir is going to Manipur after this to again go and assess this top situation in Manipur. So we are here, the NPP is here for a transformation and reformation. We are here pro-secular, pro-youth, pro-development, and pro-whatever you name positive side. That why we are here. And we have grown from strength to strength, I would say that. That's why we are the only regional party which has become a national party. We walk the talk, I will say that, NPP. We walk the talk, and we are here for development, and we are here for the unity of one Northeast, one voice. Our slogan is that one voice, one Northeast. And we will also support the regional party across the Northeast. Our dream is that one day all the regional party come together, the 24 MPs, and form one cluster head, so that we can also demand whatever we have, the aspiration that the development of Northeast can become. So we have that kind of a thing, like when the Northeast can come together as one family, then we can demand a lot of things for development of the Northeast. It's far bygone days that we have been underdeveloped. We have not been seeing the rays of hope, but we see that under the banner of NPP, we see that tomorrow there will be surely an hope, and we are going to bring a transformation. We can see the work that has been done in Arunachal, we can see the work done been in Manipur, and also in Manipur. Where Meghalaya and Manipur it's immense, you know, and I wish that one day Nagaland also will transform, reform for the glory of everybody, not for one selfish individual, but for everybody. That's what we look at NPP.
So I think at the end,
In the next election, if NPP comes to power,
Yes.
if NPP is there in the ruling government, does
in
your-
Nagaland you mean,
in the
yes,
state,
right?
in the state.
State
So
and
will
Nagaland.
will your party fulfill the repealing of AFSPA?
See, the domain, the jurisdiction of repeal of AFSPA or to keep it in place is the domain of the central government. It is their jurisdiction. But the state government plays a vital role in it. Their recommendations are very important. The government of Nagaland passed a resolution, a collective resolutions of all parties passed a resolutions of the repeal of the of this act from this state, because this act has not really given, it has not really provided any suitable sort of a better way of handling the situation that is prevailing here. In fact, it has deteriorated the situations of what is happening. You see what the recent incidents. This law has been here since the past 60 to 70 years. And if in the past 60 to 70 years you are not with this law, you are not able to bring any samadhan, anything viable out of it, why keep a law that is really redundant? So our whole theme in the Northeast is to repeal AFSPA. So if we play a stake in the government, we will put a full force, not just the full force of the Nagaland government, but also subsequent other governments in the states that we have a stake in, or where we play a vital role. We will take it collectively as one unit, and then meet the central government for its repeal.
Having said that, the Chief Minister Arunachal has earlier mentioned that the state government plays a very important role in the repeal of AFSPA
Yes.
in the state. So, however, the NDP has been in the government, in the ruling in Manipur
Yes.
in the previous
Yes.
election. Presently,
Yeah.
however, it has not been yet been able to.
Well, like you said,
The same thing with Arunachal Pradesh MP.
yeah.
So, what were some of the challenges?
Well, let me get the Arunachal part out of the way. Arunachal, we are not in the government. We are not part of the government in Arunachal Pradesh. It has a majority, the BJP has a majority by itself, and so it is ruling. We just give our views, opinions to the government. While in Manipur, we are part of the government. But you must also understand that the government is headed by a certain party. And that party is, because of its size of its legislatures, have a sway over the other parties due to their numerical numbers. So at the present situation, our numerical numbers are not that strong to bring out the state government's agenda. We are at conflict with the existing government headed by a certain party. Once we become stronger there, we play a more pivotal role in it, then we will bring out our agenda. So this is how it happens. This is how a democratic process, this is where it happens. You bring in your numbers. The more numbers you have, the more pressure you can build in. And this time too, we are thinking that we could even become the single largest party in Manipur. So our commitment will stand to the people of Manipur and to the people of Nagaland as and when the time comes. So I think this is all for.
Any final questions?
So I must thank the Nagaland digital media and the press fraternity. I've seen that the people of Nagaland are very passionate. They are really passionate in their identity, in their thinking, and we want to imbibe that thought process in our policies of our National People's Party. And I'm sure that the people of Nagaland will always welcome us with open hands, as it has done in the last election, but this time with more vigor, with more warmth. So thank you very much.